what's up y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are finally going to be sitting down and playing with the 3 new palettes from Clionadh Cosmetics. These are beautiful. I am super excited about them. I really enjoy the stained glass collection from Clionadh. Those are their single multi-chrome, shifty, beautiful, ethereal shadows. They are absolutely stunning, but I've never played with their matte formula before, and we definitely have a good array of mattes in all 3 of these palettes. 2 of these are remastered versions of palettes that they had way back when. I never had those before, but then we also have a new palette as well. So I'm going to give y'all a quick little rundown of this collection, the palettes that are included, show you some close-ups, and then we're going to create a look with each of these palettes. I will show you swatches of each of them before we dive in to the actual look. That way you can see the swatches as we create the looks as well, kind of keep it fresh in your head. I will have all of these palettes as well as everything that I use to create these looks in this video listed and linked down below in the description box. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything that I use in my channel, always check that description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But let's go ahead and start with the Paleo palette. So this is one of the palettes that they had way back when, and from what I understand, the artwork on these used to be hand painted. This is no longer hand painted. This is printed on the packaging, but this is really sturdy cardboard packaging. It's nice and thin, which I appreciate, and you do get a mirror in these as well. But look at this color story. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. This is definitely the most neutral leaning out of all of them, but you do still get these really pretty pops of blue. On the top, you get lots of neutrals and some absolutely beautiful shifty shades from the brand. The next one that we have, I think, is my favorite. This is the Archeo palette. This is the other one that is a remastered version as well. Same thing applies. This used to be hand painted on the cover. It is now printed. Same packaging as the other palette and the one that you'll see after this one as well. But the color story in this one is a little bit more bright, more fun. This blue up here is absolutely stunning. This is my favorite color story out of the 3 of them. It's just so beautiful. I love the selection of mattes in here. I love the selection of multi-chromes and duochromes in here. I had a lot of fun creating this look. This is actually the look that I'm wearing on my eyes right now, and it is absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, we have the Oceano palette. This one is a new release from the brand. New color story, new packaging, whole new scheme, and this one is absolutely beautiful. I love the packaging on this one as well. And when you open her up, you have this really interesting color story in here. You have this pop of orange, this really pretty green, this gold like duochrome shade down here, a really interesting array of mattes, and a really interesting array of shimmers and multi-chromes in here. This one kind of challenges me, gets my creative juices going, but I was really excited to create a look with this one, and I love the way that one turned out. I cannot wait for y'all to see it. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and scooch in a little bit. I'm going to start with the look that is currently on my eyes, and then I will show you the other 2 looks that I created. And at the end of the video, we will come back. I'll give you my first initial impression thoughts, and we will close out this video. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kick this off with the Archeo palette, Archeo, however you want to pronounce it. This one I think is absolutely beautiful. This is probably my favorite color story of the 3 of them, so I'm super excited to dive into this one. And I really want to play with this yellow shade right here, but I also want to play with like this really pretty brick orange shade as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this shade right here. This one is called Nomad, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. And to do that, I'm going to use a Morphe M506 brush. So I'm just going to pick that up and just kind of pack it right here into the inner corner, and then I'm going to disperse it and kind of feather it up into my crease and down onto my lower lash line as well. That is absolutely beautiful, very pigmented. I am getting a little bit of kick up in the pan with these and a little bit of fluff whenever I put it on, but I'm not getting fallout. It's not going anywhere. This is really easy to work with, and I am impressed. Okay, so next we're going to go in with this shade right here. This is called Erosion. I'm going to pick this one up with a Morphe M504 brush, and I'm going to put this one in my crease. I'm going to bring it all the way into my outer corner, bring it all the way over into that crease as well, but I'm going to go in with a very light hand because this picked up a ton of product, and I have a feeling it's going to be very pigmented, and it absolutely is. But it's beautiful. So if a eyeshadow has a lot of pigment to it and it kind of scares you, go in with a very, very light hand. A bigger, fluffier brush kind of does the trick as well. You have a lot more control as far as dispersing the product goes, and it's not going to pack it on quite as much. All right, so I think I want to deepen up this outer corner just a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this shade over here. This shade is called Lichen. These are really hard to read up against this background. So I'm going to pick that up with my Morphe M506 brush. I just kind of wipe this off. This is a really like dark gray shade. It's not quite a black, but it's not a super light gray either. But I'm just going to kind of pop this into the outer corner. I'm not going to take it very far in. I don't want it to take over the look. I just want to give a little bit of depth, and I want to try and play with as many shades in this palette as possible. And that looks really nice. It is very pigmented, but if you go in lightly, it's very user-friendly. I find this to be a little bit easier to work with than a black. So if a black eyeshadow scares you, try going in with a really deep gray eyeshadow. I'm going to take that down onto this outer corner of my lower lash line as well. I'm not taking it very far over. I just kind of like everything to flow and wrap around my eye. All right, I think I want to add a pop of color to the lower lash line. I want to play with this blue shade right here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So that shade is called Dead Sea. I'm going to go ahead and pick that one up with, let's do this brush right here. This is a Sigma E45 brush. I'm just going to go in very lightly. I'm going to tap off that excess because there is a ton of kick up in the pan with these. And I am just going to fluff this under my lower lash line, connecting it to that outer corner and bringing it all the way over into the inner corner. All right, let's play with one of these beautiful shimmers on the lid. I did already go in and prime my eye with my NYX glitter primer, and I can't decide what I want to do. This multi-chrome right here really sticks out to me. It's this really pretty like lime green to an orange flip, but then there's also this blue shade over here, which I think could go really nicely. Or do we want to play it safe? A part of me really wants to go in with this multi-chrome. I'm here for it. I'm here for all the colors and the fun, so let's go ahead and do it. This shade is called Terrain, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one up on my finger. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. So beautiful. Oh yeah, I love that. Good choice. All right, y'all, so this is the completed look, and I think this is so fun. I love the color combination. I love that shimmer on that lid, that little pop of lime green. I feel like really tied in the blue and the yellow that I used on my inner corner and my lower waterline, and everything performed absolutely beautifully. I did get a lot of kick up in the pan, and if you don't tap off your brush, I feel like you can probably make a little bit of mess, get some fallout, but if you go in with a light hand, these are absolutely beautiful. I really like the performance of these so far, and I'm excited to keep testing these palettes out. I have already created a look with each of the other two palettes, and with those I didn't have any performance issues either, but let's go ahead and show you what I used to finish off this look, and then I will show you the other two looks that I have created with these palettes. So for the lower waterline with this one, I went in with a Juvia's Place liner. This is in the shade Royal. It's this really pretty bright blue, and then I lined my lid with my ZC liquid liner and threw on some of my Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara, and I think this is beautiful. I absolutely love it. But let's go ahead and move on to our next palette. All right, let's play with the Paleo palette. So this one I think is probably the most neutral leaning out of the three. It's still very beautiful. You have these pops of blues and this really pretty like burgundy shade up here, but this bottom row you can get more neutral leaning looks and just add your pop of color with your shimmer. So I think this one's going to be a little bit more versatile for a lot of people, especially people who don't generally gravitate towards color. And I think I want to do a very neutral leaning look with this one today. So we're going to go ahead and start with this shade right here. This one is called Magma. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a Morphe M504 brush, and I'm just going to start to kind of fluff this into my crease, building up that depth, definition, and a little bit of the shape that I want. And that is going on beautifully. Very pigmented immediately, but it's not grabbing, patching, skipping, and it is blending out really nicely. So I'm not having a hard time working with this. I'm going to take a little bit of that same shade onto my lower lash line, just fluffing it down here, giving a little bit of dimension. All right, so I think I want to keep this look very simple. I don't want to go too crazy with the mattes and the color. So I'm liking what we have going on. I think I just want to throw this into the outer corner and build up some depth and definition. So that shade is called Tectonic, and I'm going to pick it up with my Kristen Dominique X Sigma eye and nose contour brush and just start to build up that depth, definition, a little bit of shape. I don't want this to take over, but I definitely want to have that little bit of drama out here, and I am going to bring it down just onto the outer portion of my lower lash line as well. Alright, so my lid is prepped with my NYX glitter primer. Let's put some shimmer on this lid. So I want to go in with this shade right here. This is a really pretty multi-chrome. It has this shift from like this really pretty bright green to this brown gold into this purple. And I think that's going to look stunning on the lid. Give me just a little bit of a pop of color. And then I think we'll probably do this one on the inner corner over here. So the name of that multi-chrome is called Archeo. And I'm just going to pick that up on my finger and we're going to pop this on the lid. But look at how gorgeous that is. Can you see all of those beautiful shifts? I don't know if the camera is picking them up, but absolutely stunning. This felt very smooth when I picked it up, very on par with what I already know from the brand. I do have a few of their singles from their stained glass collection and I absolutely love those, and these definitely are picking up and performing the same way. Look at how gorgeous. You can see all of those shifts. Love it. All right, for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of it, but it's this really pretty champagne shimmer shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush that I absolutely love for the inner corner. I am going to spray this with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus just so I don't get any fallout, and it has a little bit of staying power. And we're gonna pop this right in here. Oh, look how pretty that is. That is so reflective immediately. Oh, love, love, love. All right, so that's gonna complete this look, and I love the way this turned out. It is definitely giving me neutral vibes, but depending on how the light hits it, you get that pop of purple or pop of green. I did bring out my mirror so I can show you all of those shifts, and you can definitely see that green in the mirror and the purple when you're looking straight at my eyes. I love this. So beautiful, so smooth. I didn't have any issues with the performance of this palette, and I'm really excited to keep playing with it, but let me show you what I used to finish off this look, and then we will move on to the next palette. So in my waterline, I went in with a Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner in the shade Cinnamon, and look at how tiny this is getting, y'all. It is getting very low. I'm gonna need to order another one soon. And then I went ahead and skipped the liquid liner on the lid. I wanted to give the multi-chrome its time to shine, so I just went in with my Essence Lash Princess False Effect Waterproof Mascara. I have really been loving this. I love the way that it makes my lashes look, and it has been holding up really nicely on my watery eyes. But that's going to complete this look. Absolutely beautiful. I'm in love with it. But like I said, let's move on to our next palette. All right, the Oceano palette. So this one, I really have to think about what I want to do. I'm really not sure. I do think the color story is absolutely beautiful in here. I definitely want to play with this pop of orange, and I'm kind of thinking maybe this and this somewhere on the lid as well. But my question is, where do I want to start? That's where I kind of get mixed up and caught up in this one. So I think we're gonna start with the inner corner, and we're gonna go in with this bright orange shade down here. This one is called Starfish. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one up with a Singe Beauty EO5 brush, and I'm just gonna put this into my inner corner, and I think I'm gonna bring it maybe about halfway up into my crease, not all the way across, but I do kind of want this to be a standout. I don't want it to be just an accent for the inner corner, and I'm going to bring it along my lower lash line as well. So I think I'm going to kind of stop about halfway. All right, so next I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. This one is called Lagoon. It's this really pretty like blue, like water blue shade is what it is. So I'm gonna pick that up with a Singe Beauty EO2. This does look like it's almost a satin shade, maybe not a flat white or a flat matte, but I am going to put this out here in the inner or the outer corner, and I am going to bring it up into the crease, and where those two shades meet, I'm just gonna kind of tap on. But look at all that fallout I'm getting down here. It is an absolute ton, but it does wipe away if you're really powder under your eyes. I did not powder mine very well, but I noticed with the other palette that I played with already, that the fallout just kind of wiped away as long as my under eye was powdered really, really well. But again, I'm getting a ton of kick up in these pans. I just kind of want to show y'all what that looks like. So just kind of be wary that you are going to get fallout, you are going to get kick up in the pan, but you're also going to get a lot of pigmentation as well. So I'm going in very carefully. I'm doing a patting motion, and then once I have that shade where I want it, I can go back and fluff the outer edges, make sure that everything is nice and blended. And I'm going to take this down onto the outer edge, or the outer edge of my lower lash line as well. Alright, so I think I'm going to kind of leave the mattes where they are, and we're going to go into shimmer. So I already went in and primed my eye with my NYX Glitter Primer per usual. And like I said, I really want to play with these two shades right here, but I also want to play with this one. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we can squeeze in 3 shimmers across the lid with this one. I don't know, we're gonna see. So I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do this one towards the outer corner of my eye, this one towards the inner corner, and maybe we'll pop this one on the center, because I think that would be a really pretty one to tie everything together. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one over here. This one is called Mauna Loa. Ooh, I'm sure I butchered that. Somebody will correct me. If you know the proper way to pronounce that and you can spell it out, let me know. But that is what this shade looks like. It's this really pretty fire orange. So I'm going to pop this one onto the inner portion of my lid. I'm not going to bring it into the inner corner because I do want to leave it matte. I'm going to bring it over to about there, and that looks so pretty on the lid. These are definitely shades that look beautiful on their own. You can give them their moment, but I want to play with a bunch of shades in this one, and there was too many to choose from. Alright, so next we're going to go in with this really pretty green shade. This one is called Plankton. So again, I'm going to pick that one up on my finger. This one doesn't have a shift to it or anything like that, but it is still very reflective and very smooth, and it's going to look beautiful. So I'm going to pop this one right here and kind of melt it into the outer corner, but I'm going to bump it right up to that first shade that we put down. I'm not worried about blending them because I am going to go in with another shade right down the middle. Alright, so last for this lid, we're going to go into this one down here. This shade is called Seagrass. So I'm going to pick this one up on my finger as well. This one is a really pretty, I think this one's just a duochrome. It has like a green to yellow flip in it. But I'm going to pop this one right in the middle where those two shades meet to kind of blend everything together. And I feel like between the green and the yellow, it's really going to give me a nice blend. And it's definitely doing that. This is really fun and pretty. I like this. Alright, so this is the completed look, and this is so fun. I love how colorful this is. This is giving me like tropical summer vibes, and it's beautiful. Something a little bit different for what I normally do. I normally kind of stick to my same routine of how I do my eyes. If you've been here, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but this is beautiful. The shades went together really nicely. Those 3 shimmers on the lid just blended, and you can still make out each one. None of them overtook the other one. This is beautiful. I really do love this look. I've only created 2 looks so far. I haven't created my final look, but I don't know how I'm going to order these, so you might have already seen that look. I don't know, but out of the 2 that I have created, this is definitely my favorite. This is beautiful and I love it. But let me show you what I used to finish up this look. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Martine Cosmetics liner. This is in the shade orange. Hello, duh, makes perfect sense. And then again, I went ahead and left out the liquid liner and just went in with my Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara, and this is so beautiful, y'all. I absolutely love this. I definitely need to take some pictures, make sure I post them, and get a lot of wear out of this one. I'm excited to wear this one all day. Alright y'all, so let's go ahead and chat about these palettes. I am going to kind of go over the color stories, tell you which ones are my favorite and what I really enjoyed about them, but as a collective, These are beautiful. I enjoyed playing with them. The formula and all of them is absolutely stunning. Now the mattes in here are a little bit more pigmented. They do have a lot of kick up in the pan, so if you're going in with a fluffy brush, make sure you go in very light-handed, tap off that brush, and minimal pressure is going to work the best. I did get fallout with some of these. Not all of them, it was just certain shades, mostly the darker ones, which is to be a little bit expected, but the matte shades did kind of fluff away from under my eyes. But the shimmers that had a little bit of fallout with, especially like on my inner corner, that didn't fluff away quite as easily. It doesn't bother me. I just kind of blend it into my highlighter and add a little extra shimmer to the cheek. But if you're somebody that you don't like that, I would make sure that you powder your under eyes really, really well. Maybe do a little bit of baking beforehand, or go in and do your base makeup after you do your eyes. But as a collective, I think these are beautiful. I really enjoy the formula. Is the matte formula my absolute favorite? No, but I do think it's beautiful. But I still think that their shimmer shades, their multi-chromes, duochromes, all of that is where the brand excels and shines. But let's kind of go over these color stories really quick. So we're going to start with the Oceano palette, because this was my least favorite of the collection, not because of quality or anything like that. I think all of these are beautiful, but this one has a little bit of a different color story. I thought it was beautiful when I first looked at it, but when I got into it, it really started to challenge me, get my creative juices flowing, and I found it hard to create a cohesive look using a lot of colors, which is fine. So this is a really good palette, I think, for a lot of one and dones. I definitely see some quads in here. Like if I break these up into quads, it's a little bit easier for me, but when I look at this as a whole, it just kind of feels a little chaotic, which is okay. Sometimes we like chaos, but I just want to let you know, if you're somebody who likes to look at a palette and see a look, this is probably not going to be that one. The next palette that we're going to talk about is the, this one right here, the Paleo palette. This is my second favorite one from the collection, but this is my favorite packaging. I think this is absolutely beautiful, but this one is going to be your more neutral leaning palette. Still absolutely beautiful. I love these teal shades up here. I think they are very beautiful. You could absolutely go in with one of these shades down here in the crease, pop one of those on the lids, and you can have kind of a neutral leaning look with a little pop of color. Even throw one of these on in the inner corner with a very neutral eye. Absolutely beautiful. I think this one is going to be a lot of people's favorites. It's very versatile. You have your neutrals, you have your pops of color. Stunning. Beautiful, beautiful palette. But my favorite one is going to be the Archeo palette, or Archeo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this one I just think is beautiful. I love the array of mattes in here. I feel like you've got neutrals, but you've got this pop of yellow, which I absolutely loved on my inner corner, this blue, and then you've got this really pretty like brick orange shade, but then you've also got some mauves in here as well. And the selection of shimmers down here is absolutely stunning. This is for sure my favorite. I can sit here and look at this and I see a ton of different looks that I can't wait to create with it. But as a whole, all three of these are absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad that I picked these up. These are a little bit on the expensive side. I do understand that. There are lots of codes floating around out there. So if you do decide to pick these up, you can bundle them, use a code, do whatever you can to save a little bit of coin. But I do think that the formula is really nice in here. I enjoy them. I had a lot of fun playing with them. I need to keep playing with them because I haven't gotten to every single shade, but I'm very happy with my purchase. I'm not disappointed at all. But again, like I said, I don't think that their matte formula is my favorite. It is a little bit more finicky and hard to work with, but in the end, I did get some really beautiful eye looks. So it's kind of up to you as to your makeup preferences, what you decide, but I'm just here to give you the facts and let you know what my experience is with all of these palettes. But that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Did you pick any of these up? Are you a fan of Clionadh? Did you have the original two Archeo and Paleo palettes? I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section. And as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.